We downloaded KASPIUM version 1.1. Right now, it can translate into 32 different languages. But the version that's coming in the future, the version that's going to absolutely change the price candle of Kaspa, forever sending it to the moon, the version that's going to come out, that is going to break the narrative of crypto is always based on the greater fool. The first crypto that's actually going to have a use case that gets so much traffic, it sends it flying to the sky, will be the version that can translate it instead of into 32 different languages, into 32 different fiat currencies, so people in developing countries around the world can pay for their stuff and entrepreneurs and business owners can collect it in Kaspa. And as we've studied in previous episodes, this is a tens of billions of dollar industry around the world. Americans have a blind eye to it because we have ATMs, we have banks. They don't have those all over the place around the world in developing countries. There's been a lot of misinformation and false narratives around Kaspa, specifically 2 months ago. Remember when the hash rate was still 1200 TH? And everybody was saying, as soon as these ASICs plug in, the price of Kaspa is going to completely crash. You guys remember that? We were saying the exact opposite. And in fact, the original only reason that we loaded our bags was because the hash rate was so low, and we knew that once all these ASICs plugged in, we would get some kind of upward price action. Now, upon deeper study, we've learned more about the token, and these mobile payment systems is the narrative. You hear often associated with Kaspa, it solves the trilemma. Listen, your average investor, before they reach into their pocket, doesn't want to hear about something that they don't understand. And I can tell you firsthand that the people that are really pumping this narrative of solving the trilemma, these guys can't code. They're not going to go in there and hack Kaspa. This is like really, really techie talk. It's not something that the average investor should go around repeating. Inside of our own circles, yeah, we can talk about it and discuss it as we're learning more about crypto. But the real narrative, which you guys are responsible for helping spread on Twitter and to your friends, is the mobile pay app. Because once Kaspa really gets that true use case, like Ethereum does the Ethereum virtual machines and runs smart contracts and all these ERC20 tokens off of it, that's a great use case. Kaspa, it's going to be people paying for stuff with their cell phone through Kaspa. Of course, this is a big pill to swallow, but Kaspa's rubbing shoulders with these big world influence investors, the kind of guys that play golf with Carl Schwab. You got Polychain Capital, who's basically Coinbase off the books. Side note, they're looking into a new token called Eclipse. And you've got Yes Capital from Berlin, Germany. These guys funded Quant, they funded Zilcore, they funded Reserve Rights. They're directly linked to PayPal. These guys are two major power players that can help get these Kaspa payment systems up and running worldwide. Would you believe that someone bought 10 million Kaspa right here on the chart on March 25th, the day before the candle absolutely skyrocketed to the upside? How would you like to follow that wallet along, see when they buy more, or perhaps down the road when they start selling? I've got it posted as the first wallet in the list in the descriptions below. Spent hours combing through the top 300 wallets looking for traders who seem to be making well-informed decisions, whether it's from technical analysis or they had access to insider information. And I have this hand-picked list for you in the description. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so already, as we'll be tracking these wallets vigorously and releasing information if any of them make a move, whether they're buying or selling in the future. While scanning these whale-sized wallets, I picked up on another extremely common trend. Lots of people with like 10 million Kaspa or more were buying right down here at the bottom of the cup, definitely in late August to early September, there was a massive amount of like these $10 million bags of Kaspa coming off MEXC wallet going directly into a private HODL wallet. This is a very good sign showing that the whales are loading up on the handle pattern of the cup and handle. Jumping over to the Kaspa chart, 7 days ago we drew a trend line on the chart in purple that mysteriously somehow caught the candle and acted as support, rising up to it. How did we know to place that trend line there, and what kind of projections can we get off of that into the future? This is the entire origin trend line Fibonacci pitch in its essence. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. See, from this previous breakout starting in July all the way up to August, we get this nice trend line right here. We clone that and we move it back in history, and we can see right off of the June 12th to the June 28th peak, it fits in nicely. We go ahead and we set a fib pitch up, spread it all the way out until we just had this one contact point on the low of September 4th. And we got this beautiful origin trend line Fibonacci pitch. And once again, this technical analysis method is working like a clock to predict exactly where the support of the candle is going to go. Now, there's a lot of intersecting trend lines coming up here on October 7th. So if we're going to break to the downside and start forming more of this rising wedge, this will probably be where we're going to cut down. Of course, we have this massive gray rising trend line right here of support that has never failed before, and it's only really like half of a penny in distance, so there's no use fiddling around and trying to get any profit off that. Now, there's a massive intersection of trend lines right here on November 26th. This, in the more bearish projection of the future, is where the candle is going to finally break out to the upside. In the scenario that we stay on top of this purple rising trend line, we could very well rise all the way up to 7 cents, but there's a good chance that we'll break to the downside and then bounce off of this massive intersection. To me, this just seems like a magnet to the candle, and with almost a certainty we're going to interact with this area of the chart. Now, for the rising wedge statistics in the effect that we break to the downside on October 7th, a lot of people are projecting the rising wedge is bearish. Statistically, that is completely false. The rising wedge continues to the upside 66% of the time. It has an average increase in price, if you exclude everything that's 400% or higher, of 133.44% upside break. Now, if you exclude everything that went up more than 100%, so this is just double ups or less, you still get an average gain of 64.82% to the upside. Congratulations for those of you who have stayed through the entire video, because I'm about to drop a gem of charting knowledge on you. What we're starting to notice is that patterns are also trending. Okay, Quant and Flux, both of those, a descending triangle just off the top of my head, and they both broke to the downside. Now, over the past 30 days, just last week, there was only a few cryptos that were moving to the upside. The three biggest gainers were Maker in first, Kaspa in second, and Rune in third. Both Kaspa and Rune are showing a cup and handle pattern. Thus, the cup and handle is trending bullish. Investigate what the Rune token is. This is a DeFi staking, trading, borrowing platform. Its value is based on the value of Bitcoin, Ethereum, multiplied by how many people are using the platform. That multiplier can be anywhere from 3 to 15 times Ethereum and Bitcoin's value. I've entered into a swing trade by kind of borrowing against my Kaspa to rocket this up into February. I believe that we could easily see $3, if not $5 in Rune into the beginning of next year. I'm very excited about this trade because it's got the exact same pattern as Kaspa. As you guys know, if you take more risk, you're gonna get more reward. And it's the guys who are driving the Lambos with the huge bags and all the Barbie doll plastic chicks. These are the guys that took the maximum risk. And then you get your guys who can finally move out of their mom's basement, like John, who are DCAing all the time. And whatever you do, do not risk your bag if you have left experience. Remember that confidence is 100% the amount of money that you've won doing something. As a professional poker player in Las Vegas, this applies directly into poker, and you can take it into anything else that's a zero-sum game. You've got to win money, and as you win money, start with $100, trade around a little bit. There's not a lot of killer action right now. The bull run is going to be maybe 8 months away, but you can build up enough confidence into then where you can start making some life-changing move. But it takes time. No matter how smart you are, no matter how crafty you are at zero-sum games, it takes experience. Like, imagine how many capitals of European countries you remember versus how many castles in The Legend of Zelda you know what items are hidden inside of in like Zelda 2, whichever one you played. You can probably go through the Zelda 2 map and point out where all the secret items are, but you don't know anything on the European map besides maybe Paris, Berlin, right? Because it's called active learning. When you actually do something, you learn it so more. That's why I'm always stressing to you guys, take 50 bucks, take 100 bucks, take even 20 bucks. You can learn a lot from 20 bucks. Do some leverage trading. Right now, hey, maybe Rune is a good chance for you to learn some leverage trading. Of course, ideally, you want to catch it off this lowest grade trend line, and there might be an opportunity that it's going to bounce off of it in the weeks coming up. Put your eye on it, make your own assumptions. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Thanks for checking out this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.